Hey everyone, this is the Lego Monkey Kid set called Pigsy's Food Truck. It's a vaguely minifig scaled food truck, which fundamentally should be a very good thing that a lot of us will like. But here's the problem. Lego is trying to sell it to us for $70 US, which is very questionable. So let's get to the bottom of that and see if this thing is worth it. Now, I'm a firm believer that context is important in most things in life, and when you look at the size of the truck compared to minifigures, you can see that there's some serious bulk here. Though the truck is made for minifigs, it's not typical minifig sized. So here we go with more context. The official Lego City ice cream truck here is a recent model. It is fairly large for minifig scaled stuff. By today's standards, it can fit multiple minifigs in the back, in the food service portion of it, as well as a driver, but the scale difference between these two vehicles is immense. It's like they're from a completely different system. By the numbers, Pigsy's truck has an 8-stud wide windscreen, but then it immediately shifts up to 10 studs wide for most of the forward cab section. But then you also have extensions for the fenders, the tires go beyond that, and you have extensions back here for the main food service area. All right, so this thing is definitely big, but is it good and does it make good use of its space? First of all, there are a lot of stickers involved in the build for this. If you hate stickers, you're going to have a little bit of trouble with this along the way, I think. And unfortunately, some of the stickers are really, really important for its details inside and out, as you'll see as we start to get inside of this thing. I personally like the overall look of it. I feel like I can recognize it. It almost looks like a GMC medium to heavy commercial truck. This thing on the front is basically a super large scale version of Pigsy's rake, which is his signature weapon. So that's able to come down and cause quite a lot of destruction. Could be extremely gory in how it works. You actually can open up the hood here, interestingly, but there's not an engine inside. Instead, that's a grill, or at least maybe there's an engine down below and he's reusing some of the heat from it, but that has a whole bunch of trans orange pieces underneath, and the entire thing is a cooking surface. I appreciate the pieces that are used for the fenders. I appreciate the step or ladder access for a minifig to get up into the cab, and I like the large size doors that will actually open. Inside the cab is seating space for two figures side by side. They've got some interior details, including a semi-custom built-up steering wheel there, and some spaces to hold on to some minifig accessories over on the right. This thing on the roof is obviously a pig that is also a turret. So that's able to fire off studs. Those are printed little pieces right there. They're 1x1 studs that are new, I believe, for this theme. I don't know if they're going to be used again. They should be used again on something, but it's a cool little build. You know, it's a little bit flat on the front, but around the back it's actually fairly round, and here you get more of those nice bow pieces. This is able to rotate. It's actually connected to the mechanism to shoot this off, so you don't have an obvious trigger mechanism. I like how that's built in, and I also like how the ears can be angled, so they're not just, you know, at 90-degree angles, and you know, they're a little bit dynamic. So this works pretty well for what it is. It's funny. But by far the most important features of this whole build will be inside. So to get access, you can properly lift up the entire side, and I'll do that for both sides so you can see through there. And what do you know? This is pretty good. They have an entire ledge so you can place orders up there for exchange with your customers. You've got some condiments inside, plenty of spots to hold on to cooking accessories, as well as some additional food that has been made and is ready to be chopped up and or served up. There's the menu over there for easy access. Got that one piece, that one brick that you see just below and to the left of the menu that has a little mark on it. I think that actually happened during transport. It does happen sometimes with plastic pieces. It's not a molding issue, but there's also plenty of space for a figure or two to be posed back there. So you can actually get them in there on both sides. In fact, I'll show you the other side in a minute. But there's some sort of console back there we'll look at from the other side. This is even an empty, or excuse me, a hollow bowl that has another rice bun, like one of these. This is supposed to represent, or possibly a dumpling. I think they're supposed to be more like rice buns. And that's inside there. So, you know, this is a good start for food prep. You know, it's a proper food truck. Has all the details that I'm looking for so far. There's also a sticker here that's impossible to see unless I pull it off. So there's that, just one additional detail. But then the other side is like superhero secret lair type stuff here. So this thing that looked like a console is actually the grill top. So nothing fancy there until you rotate it around the rest of the way. And now it's actually a console where alerts will come up and such. There's also something that will come down from the roof. If I get my finger just under there, there we go. Another console comes up. So this is like getting into Batman lair or mobile lair type of territory. You got storage over here. There's nothing in the storage, these two spots right here, but you can put like extra ammunition in there and stuff. And then this, which is supposed to look like a walk-in freezer or fridge, well, no, it actually has weapons inside of it, and you can pull that whole little rack out. Rounding out our tour, just coming around the back. This is so-so back here, just a few more details, but it kind of feels like the designer just ran out of parts budget or something, or ran out of interest in the thing, because we do get this little bit of coverage with the tiles here, but then this is all just studded, and then that's left completely unfinished, and more Technic stuff back here, so this is not a good look from the back. The bad guys for this set get motorcycles, and I at least like the color schemes here. They've got funny attachments on the front to make them more bull-like, but I mean, fundamentally, those are good motorcycles underneath. Each one has some attachment points that have been added on, so that's a good thing. And this one has the grappling hook on the back, and it's also trying to take away this delivery box for takeout or catering. So it's got a sticker there, and it also has an item inside. That's a printed piece, by the way. Now, speaking of printed, LEGO actually came up with the time to invest in a 1x2 clear printed tile for Pigsy's menu. Lastly, here's a look at the spare or leftover pieces, which include plenty of extra red studs for the stud shooter turret, but also a couple of the new prints and some special colors for good pieces, so just overall a nice selection. And there's the spent sticker sheet, just for the record. Here's this set's version of Pigsy with his medium-sized legs and his pitchfork that represents a rake as a weapon. And then food service employee Monkie Kid, who is understandably looking possibly panicked and overworked. He's very disheveled because, well, Pigsy is a tough boss, and also there's probably quite a lot of demand. So you can see that they are using the exact same logo as intended. Got the dual molded legs for Monkie Kid print on the sides of those legs as well. And here's how they both look with their headgear pieces removed, with a secondary face for the Monkie Kid. The Demon Bull clones are named their Snort and Grunt, but does it really matter? Because they're clones after all, so the figures are identical, just have the weapons in the hands of one of them. I think that these are perfectly good-looking figures, though. Well done. The color schemes stand out. The prints are pretty good, in my opinion. Underneath, they have no prints for their heads, but I think that works out just fine for their overall look. Yeah, no complaints here from me. And lastly, this innocent bystander citizen figure is also a named character. It's Uncle Chow. And looks like a happy fellow, pretty much. Has a piece of luggage, briefcase or something. Maybe he's on his way to work. And just generally, looks like a normal person who you could fit into all sorts of different themes and scenes. He does have an alternate face, so if he's stuffing his face because he's in a hurry, or if he really doesn't like the food. So as it turns out, there is a lot of good stuff here. It's big and it's full of details and features. But is it worth it? Is it worth $70 US? Well, it does come with 832 pieces, so that helps with the value proposition on the thing. And with that size and that level of detail, you know what? I hate to say this, but it actually has, as an entire set, it actually has more value than some other modern LEGO $70 sets. And that hurts me to say that, because I still feel like this costs too much. So to think that other things cost the same amount and have even less value is a tough pill to swallow, because I really don't want to see LEGO shift itself just slowly into the realm of being a toy only for the upper middle class and above, because that would result in a whole lot of completely worthy kids just missing out on the goodness that is Lego and all the good things that come with interacting with Lego, no matter what your age is. All the cognitive benefits that come from it, the stress relief, the fostering of creativity, the positivity in general. There's just so much good that you can get from Lego, but this is too much. It's a pretty good thing. It's a pretty good food truck. It's super, super oversized. Anybody who wants to think about using this in a Lego city or with other, normal minifig scaled vehicles and such, just forget about it. It's completely in a different realm entirely, as I showed you with that comparison with the Lego City food truck that's so much smaller. Like the idea of converting this down to 6 studs wide, you're just going to be building something from scratch at that point. I mean, from scratch. It's probably possible. There are enough pieces here, 832 pieces. There are probably enough pieces to make something work out of it. But I don't know. It's rough. It's a very rough proposition. Ultimately, for what it is, for how they chose to scale it, it's nice, and there's plenty of space to play with it and do various things with it. It's fun. It looks good from most angles, not from the back though. That is a disappointment there, but comes with a decent selection of figures, and I like the motorcycles at the very. I mean, I personally don't like the things that they stuck on to the ends, to the fronts, the noses, for the Demon Bull clan, whatever it is. But the motorcycles themselves, like, they have nice colors, and a lot of those parts are reusable for other things. So I can't really say much bad about this set, except the price is not where I want to see it. If this was $55, I would be happy with it. Okay, so that's kind of how far away it is for me. If it was $60, I might begrudgingly say, if you want this, okay, we can go with $60. I mean, you look at the part count. All right, I'll allow it. But $70 is that far away. Really, ideally, my mind wants to pay $50, wants to see a $55 price tag on this. That's where I'm at with it. You can check out the builds for this. I've got the pure build. I've got the speed build. If you want to see all of how it actually ultimately went together to help you to make your own decision. If you're thinking about this, but you're not so certain about it, hopefully that will help you. Hopefully this video helped you out as well. If not my opinions about it, at least my showing you what you actually get here. So thank you for watching. I do hope that this was useful to you. I'll talk to you again soon.